everybody. My name is Vesilen Slavaikov. I've been living in New York since 1998, July 21st, 1998. I immigrated to the States from Bulgaria with my parents and sister. We've resided here for that time. A lot of my life in New York, I'm pretty absorbed with either work or trying to find out the new restaurants and places to go out in and hang out with a lot of friends, play a lot of sports, cycle around the city, and yeah. I studied just for junior high school and high school, so I guess secondary school and high school. And for college, I went to a university in Florida, so I was not living in New York for that time being, for 4 years. I'm an airline pilot as a profession. I'm a captain at a major airline here in the U.S. And Dad, both doctors in Bulgaria as well as here. They had to do residency to get requalified once again. I used to go very often before college. I used to go and spend my summer months in Bulgaria, 2 or 3 months at a time. Now after starting to work, it's definitely harder to go back for longer than a week and a half, but my grandparents are still in Bulgaria. I do have a lot of friends that maybe are not in my birth city, but they're in Sofia or all around. I think it's very important. It's not only important to the connections with family and friends, but also to explore and visit other parts of Bulgaria that I haven't been to, but also show my girlfriend, who's not Bulgarian descent, also show her around. It is possible, but I also think that the way how life is set nowadays, it seems a little bit more interesting, especially with my background being an airline pilot, and for example, after retirement, many people try to go back. For me, I usually fly standby, meaning that I could fly anywhere around the world for a very low cost. So in my case, I think it's a lot more dynamic to go spend a couple of days somewhere else and just explore the history of the world.
So how about your parents? Do they think about going back up in the retirement years?
They do. They've looked into buying apartments or houses either in the Black Sea or in Sofia. They were close to putting something together in the Black Sea for all of us to go back. They're considering spending at least a few months out of the year in Bulgaria. Yes, I am interested. In all honesty, just the way how life is, you don't have too much time to really absorb yourself and learn more about it. And you can do so much other than read a newspaper or look at the TV and the news. So I try to, as much as I can, either by word of mouth, meaning friends and family and other relatives for most of the time. I have a big mix of friends coming from all over the world. I think that's one specific benefit of living in New York in particular, is that you meet people from all over the world that are either first generation or second generation here. I wouldn't say I have a lot of American friends that are born here. I'm only active in the United States elections. I know that I have the right to vote. It's just that I also hear the other side of the story where a lot of people speak up about it, especially when we go back to Bulgaria, and they're not quite fan of that because, in all honesty, I don't live there, so I can't necessarily. And I left so young that it's probably not fair for me to really speak on their behalf. I think they voted once or twice, maybe in the most recent maybe not the most recent, but about 2-3 years ago. It's definitely crossed my mind, but for those who might have visited New York, New York is such a love or hate relationship in the sense that there's a lot of things in particular to New York that I dislike, but yet again I love it because my family is here and it's the closest to home in the sense of it's a big city that definitely is the furthest away from home, but what means closest to home to me is that I can leave home and I can walk by foot or I can bike somewhere and I don't have to rely on a car. And a lot of the US you have to rely on a car or other means of transportation, which I am not the biggest fan of.
So, okay, I don't know how more to thank you about this interview and about sharing your love for New York and sharing your love for Bulgaria too.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.